Hey friends, it's me, Cynthia. Azalea is coming. She's getting ready still, but I'm coming from Marshall, from the Marshall Handmade Market, which was a blast. I meant to go early in the day, but let me just say that show kicked my hind end because as soon as I walked in, it was like not even time yet to be open and there were people. So it was pretty jam packed. Um, and it was a beautiful area, really like a charming drive to get there. It was like 30 minutes from Asheville. And we just had the best time, even though I will say, when I saw my location at first, I was like, wait a minute. So I'm upstairs and down a hallway at the end, and you couldn't take, there was no elevator, so I had to go up like 3 flights of steps to get to our booth space. And on the way in, I was not prepared. So today, when I was packing up, I was kind of doing a pre-pack, but man, I hustled to get home. That was the quickest teardown of my life. And I had to carry all that stuff down. It was like 10 trips. I'll tell you, I'm going to feel that in a couple days. My knees were feeling it though, but I was like, man, I don't know. I might be getting too old for this. But it was fun. We had a great show. We had such a good time. It looks like, hello, Nilda, Cherie. And Facebook user, you're going to have to sign in again. I know, it's drag. I have to do it pretty much every time I get on there. And to give them the permission to, I'm not sure why they do that. But I hope everyone had a good week and they got to be crafty. Oh, friend, Clem. Hello, Clem. I was thinking about you the other day. It was, I'm not sure why. I won't remember it. I'm kind of in a daze. Because I packed up, did a full day, got up at 6, drove to Marshall, did the show, had a great time, made a bunch of new friends. It was awesome. Sometimes I forget how easy it is to be kind of isolated as an artist, I don't go anywhere to work. I just go upstairs or go downstairs, so it's not like I interact with a lot of people. So there were a couple times I was weird during the day, but not too bad. I was on my best behavior, so that was nice. Hello, Karen, Marianne, and what else was good was having my friends from the Facebook Lives and YouTube come and see us. It was awesome. I felt like, it's feeling like I've seen comments and over the last few, maybe even years now since GBE's been going on. It felt like meeting with friends, so that was a real treat. So today I'm going to tell you, I made actually when I say I mean Greg made the mold for me, but I made little masters for pins. They didn't make it to the show, unfortunately. I didn't get them done, but I wanted to show them off. I've been dying to show them off. I finished them last week, but I didn't really get a chance to play with them. I was just prepping for the show and I had too much to do. And it was just too busy, so I didn't get a lot of time to play with it. But what I did get to do with my experiments, I'm going to show you, and it's pretty cool. I'm going to show you some of the techniques. And it's with the UV resin. I had a few people ask me about my white resin, the polyurethane resin, and it was kind of fun. Here's Azalea and Marty. Hello. Get that in there.
My son.
Hello, Robin, Jeanette, Colite. Hello, happy magical Sunday. He's not having it, Azalea. He's not having it.
He's just being cheerful.
Yeah, his own way of cheerful. But, yeah, so I'm going to show you some of my necklaces. We probably won't do I didn't have a chance this weekend or all week to put together some stones and dig through my collection, so that'll have to wait till next week. But I did want to show some of the necklaces I've been making all week, and I'm wearing one. You guys have seen this one. This one got tucked into my sweater. Oh, isn't this cute? Look at my hair. I saw this gal, she's a customer at the table, and I was like, how'd you get your hair to do that? Did you have a machine, like one of those twisting braiding things? And she was like, no, here's how you do it. She undid her hair, and then she was doing hers, and she did it in like 2 minutes, not even. And then I was like, I can't get it to do. And so she did mine for me. And I didn't
How
have any hair
charming.
ties, so I used a piece of a pipe cleaner. And it lasted all day, so I was pretty happy.
That's really charming. She said she twisted your hair.
Mm-hmm. It was nice. I was like, I wish I could do that all the time. And it looked cute with my hat. I had a little felt hat on. And that was nice. So if you're out there and you joined us at the Marshall Market, thank you for making the drive to come see us and support Handmade and Asheville Local. And let's get started with some of this resin. I'm going to show you what I made. I'm so excited about it. Let me see if I can get this. I'm going to flip it around real quick. They changed the settings on this, so it's like all the, I was like, what is back dual extra wide camera mean? So, I'm going to flip this to the downward position.
Glow in the Dark Glitter by Martha Stewart.
Yeah, you can use that. That's good.
You'll be good for this is when I put the resin on the doll's eyes. And it would glow.
Oh, wow. That's a crazy idea. All right. So I carved these guys. They don't look like much, that's for sure. Especially this one. He got a little bit messed up. This is the original. I carved these out of polymer clay. And I use a mix, if you're curious. I use a mix of Primo. Like 1 part Primo, 1 part Super Sculpey. And I mix it. Sometimes I use a white to get the color. And there's no real reason to get, I just like that color. There's no benefit to that. It does make it easier to see your details if you have kind of a mid-value or something that isn't pure white or the translucent, because it can be hard to see your details. I don't know if you can see that. But I have this too. I know, that's shockingly amazing, right? It's just it's like a pebble. But I didn't have that, so I made that for resin, and it looks actually pretty good. And look at this weirdo. Isn't that cute? I was thinking about a trilobite. You know, those ancient sea bugs. And then this was one that I was thinking about. I know they make a bunch of molds already. Like, I have this. This is one that I bought, and that makes a chonky piece. And there's not, I mean, that's kind of like, I don't know. It's just kind of big. Big for jewelry purposes. So I made this. And already you could get different ones from different places. Amazon has a ton. The craft store has a bunch of crystal-y shapes. But they didn't have this particular shape. So I made it. And how I did it was I carved the piece first. Like loosely, very loosely, like with an X-Acto knife. And then I put it in my convection oven that I use just for this purpose, and then baked it. And then when I was done, I hit it on a sanding block. So I sanded one direction, then I sanded another, and then I got this, and I polished it. And I got a pretty high polish. And what I use for my polish is a paper towel. Especially these Viva paper towels are so good. You can get in there and really buff the heck out of these. It works. They work great. This one is actually my favorite one. It broke coming out of the mold. And Greg made this mold for me. It's in this really super squishy resin. I actually hate how squishy this is.
Oh, the super squishy silicone?
Yeah, I don't love that it's so squishy. We went to Reynolds Advanced Materials in Charlotte and picked up a kit. And this is called Sorta Clear, is what it's called. And they use this in the jewelry industry so that you can make molds. And you don't have to make a 2-part mold. You can just cut your mold to dig it out. It is a pretty color, Teresa. I agree. Thank you, guys. Oh, thanks, Jermaine. I think this is good in its own way. So look at this. This is how I cast it in UV clear first, and then I used one of the new UV resins that come in opaque. And I think that came out with a neat effect. Sort of like, it reminds me a little bit of velvet or something Or like one of those weird, what do you call those beads that are like, they're kind of like fiber optic. I don't know if there's a trade name for them. But I sold a bunch of these guys as pins. And this is white casting resin. That's what this is. But I tinted it in a kind of a pinky purple color before I poured it. And then it's painted with pigments, pearl pigments, and those pigments from Pan Pastel. And I dust the interior of the mold to get these colors. And this one is the same method. And I made this as a pin. These are the ones that didn't get finished. And then this one, that came out pretty good. I don't know if you can see, but that came out. It's a little big for a pin. I don't know. It came out big. I thought it would look good on hats. And then I have this froggy. Isn't that cute? It's a rain frog. And it looks so adorable when I put the eye black with the shine there. It's so cute. And so I sold these today. Sold out fast to those. And then look at this one. You guys, you'll love it. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So this is the clear UV with an opaque interior. I think they look like candy or gum. So here's the master. So unfortunately, some of these had little flaws. Or maybe it was in my piece. So this had a little bit of a ridge line. You can see it in this. And I was disappointed because you see that. It came out flawed. To me, I think it's noticeable. I don't like that feeling. I want it to be perfectly smooth. So I'm going to remold this. But I'm going to show you how to get this gummy texture. Yeah, that looks cute. Here's another one. Oh, look at that, how cute that came out with the snail. So this is clear and then opaque resin. And then tint, I think it's a pink tint. It looks like a pink tint. Yeah, that was the color of the resin on this side. You can see it was kind of bluish. But I did it in layers, so it gave it a kind of a mauve tone, which is an interesting kind of fun thing that you can do. You can kind of do some interesting color blends with these UV clear and opaque. It's so fun. Oh, thank you, Kathy. These came out pretty good. This is a method where I am using the polyurethane white casting resin and making crystal forms. So I'm going to dig that one out. I might coat this because it comes out pretty cool. But this is just pigmented with the Pan Pastels and then tinted resin. Oh, no, I guess this isn't tinted. This one is just white. It's kind of fun to make these. And by kind of fun, I mean it's fully a good time to make them. I'm going to show you. Oh, Marty, move it, honey. He likes to get involved and sit wherever I am. And so I finished these, but I didn't get a chance to put the backs on them. But look how cool this one looks. I'm going to show you guys how to do this. It's so fun. You're going to love it. That was this one that broke. At first, it didn't look like much, but when it's cast, it has a neat effect. I think this is my favorite one. And again, this is different transparent with an opaque back. I put a little bit of a metallic on there. And then this one, that pebble shape. I wanted something that wasn't a perfect dome, and I think that came out pretty good. Oh, thanks, Robin. They're fun to make. This one came out pretty good. Again, clear with an opaque middle. It gives it a candy-like effect. And this is white polyurethane casting resin with an overlay of acrylics and, let me see, it might have been a wash of acrylic and then spray. Those sold out pretty fast. And then this This is using metallic pigments on a separate layer. I'll show you how to do that too. Oh yeah, it kind of is like mermaid glass. I love those beads. I've seen those ads. They look really cool. This one came out a little more opaque than I thought it would. It's still cool. This is another one. I was experimenting with that. You could see I tried a little bit of that mirrored pigment. It's kind of a chrome look. Oh, thanks, Kathy. Appreciate that. Sorry if my voice is a little rusty.
That looks so cute.
And this one had a very juicy look, I thought. It kind of looked like you could bust it.
Oh.
You know? Doesn't it look like grapes or something? And then this. This is that is this. But I didn't go over on the top layer with it. I did this on the third layer. And I will show you how to do that today. Now. It'll be fun. Oh, Anne, our friend Anne.
Hello.
One of our favorite people. I miss being set up in Tucson like that with our friends. It's so fun. This year we're going to go in like total hot shots and go to be buyers. Won't that be something new and exciting? I'm going to move this over. All right, all settled in. I wish I could get in there a little tighter with this light. If it just went in a little bit smaller, wouldn't that be wonderful? Let me see. Now light's a little bit better. Okay. So the first one, I think I will show you. Oh, there was a sample. You know what? I keep misplacing that frog. Oh no, here it is. Look what happens when you completely coat the outside with clear. This one had a flaw on it, in the mold, the frog. You can see it really well right there. And it was a line that happened when the silicone was being poured. I'm not sure why it does that. It's kind of like, it's just a texture. And there's a texture also, because it's not on my master, so it must be on the mold. And you can kind of feel it. It's almost like where the silicone first hit it or something, and it made a which drove me crazy. I couldn't even stand it, so I didn't make that many of them. And I didn't notice it at first. So on this one, I coated the whole thing in clear, and that was really hard because I was holding it like this, and it kept dripping onto my fingers. I don't suggest that method. That was unpleasant. But it has a core of opaque, so that gives it that weird, I'm not sure how to describe that. Oh, it kind of does look pretty realistic. Thanks, Shuri. Okay, so I went and bought some of these opaque resins. I got the 2 kit, and it comes with a ton of colors. But you know what? It's kind of not that great of a deal. I think it was like 30-something bucks. But look how small the containers are. That's like a tablespoon of resin. It's not that much. I tell you, I love this Let's Resin brand because it's basically double the amount. But this isn't opaque, so what do? I guess I could always just tint my own white. Maybe it comes in a larger container. It's just not very, I don't know, economical to do it this way. But you do get a ton of colors. I mean, each box has 24 colors. And then there's another 24. This set was like... Oh yes, Kalite. Definitely looks like a gummy frog. Definitely. I really love these tinted ones. So I'm going to use it. This is the favorite one. It's almost empty. Let me get another one. Let's see. I gotta try this. I wonder I don't remember using the white. I'm sure I did. I used all of them. Oh, thanks, Clem. I really like making these. It kind of made me wish that I was like a candy maker, you know, because it kind of reminds me of candy. So I'm going to use some of this pink. This is so fun, this color. It's really, it's nice and like vivid. Yeah, this mold is so soft. It's so easy to mess it up and tear it because it's like, look how like how goopy it is. We are working on some puppets for this pilot we're working on with our friend Hobie. And what's happening with this mold? Oh, to look at it. It looks like there's a tear in it. I'm kind of afraid to pull it out because it's probably a piece of it. I don't have my optivisors on. Okay, where did I go? Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to add some of this. Oh, this is a really, like a kind of a milky, opaly type of pink. Like a rose quartz kind of color. And this mold is, since I made it and I did not polish the surface really to like a super mirror finish. It's slightly satiny. It's not a 100% gloss.
It's cute though.
There's little, I can feel the resin is on the inside of this, and I need to dig out those pieces. You can see the flaw in that frog mold. I can see it from here. I don't even have my optivisors on, I can see it. So I'm going to put a little bit in each one of these because it's kind of fun to do like a layered effect. Maybe I'll do this one. Maybe pink with it, or no, green. Where's that blue? I had a really pretty blue. Oh, what about this? If it makes a good transition. This hugs the edges. Oh, they say pink purple. That's more of just a pink. And they're kind of running together a little bit. It's okay. I don't mind that story. Oh, get out of there, you. Let's see wherever that little piece. So swish it around a little bit. And I don't want to swish it too much because then I'm going to get one like homogenized color. And I kind of like it to have a little bit of the separation. Let's see what this caramel looks like. I don't remember this being that. I think I remember it being kind of like an amber color. Yeah, that's weird. That's neat. And so I'm not putting a ton in. I'm just trying to get the first clear layer. And this is a translucent. Some of these I did tinted with clear, and some of them I did with just plain clear. And it swirls around and it makes a stone-like color. It's pretty cool. Whoop. Almost went too far. Okay, that looks good. I'll let it go for a minute and catch up on this. Oh, Robin, I'm using Let's Resin and also DIY Craft Brand. They're both pretty good. I prefer the Let's Resin. Oh, let's see. Kalite says, maybe lightly press the sticky side of a piece of tape to help get the bits out of your mold. That's a good idea. It's a really good idea. I have a piece of tape over here somewhere. I just saw some tape. You know, sometimes
Probably one little piece.
Yeah, maybe.
Stuck tape.
Let's see, Carla. Hello, Carla. She's in Charlotte. Oh, nice. We were in Charlotte last week, or maybe it was a week and a half ago when we went to the Reynolds Advanced Materials. That was a cool place. I love visiting. They're so knowledgeable. Oh, so now I'm in a stage where I can choose my own adventure. So if I go in now, this is a perfect opportunity to, if I want to have this sort of metallic look, I can get that, or I can go with this sort of creamsicle type of look. So I'm going to make, maybe I can do, I will show you opaque on this side with just one of these colored ones. I think maybe this light blue would be nice, and maybe we'll do these. There's very little in here. I was kind of disappointed. I was like, man, that's all you guys are going to put in there? It's like the smallest bottle ever. And then I'm going to show you how to get this mirror finish. So if you have pigment powders, there's all different kinds. Oops. Pearlex makes a brand. These are a great deal. You get so much in there, and they're good for everything. And it's the same thing with this. These are nail pigments, and you can get them at different sources, pretty much anywhere online. Obviously quality, you're going to get different quality depending. You might have to do a little research to find. I've ordered all over the place and gotten different types. Like some have come in like this, some like this. And some of them you don't get very much at all. Look, some of them, like it's a very small amount. But you don't need a lot. I mean, if you're going to cast a lot, you might need some, but I'm just doing surface treatments, so a little goes a long way. So I'm going to do half of this crystal with one side. Maybe I'll do, let's do this one. This is such a pretty one. It's one of my favorites. I can't find my holographic. I have a holographic pigment, and I must have left it at one of the places that I've taught. So I'm just going to use my finger. You can use a brush. And I'm going to put just a tiny amount. I just took my fingertip and see how that gave it, just on that corner, gave it a little metallic glow. Oh, Kalite. I might, if I can get something together in Tucson, I might do that. That would be fun. If anyone has a space out there and they want to host Azalea and I, you'd be down with that. Teach a class or two. All right, I'm going to try one of these pigments to do that same technique. This one's my favorite one. Oh, you haven't been to the new Reynolds. I love that place. I mean, it's like this. It's like a special effects wonderland. I go to the one in Orlando when I go out to see my folks, and it's good because you don't have to pay for shipping. We try to go, and because the shipping of some of these are pretty expensive. So on the other side, I put this. We'll see how that looks. Might look cool. It might not. We'll see. Okay. So now on this side, I'm going to try the color resin that is opaque. Now, it's not 100, it's kind of milky. I should say it's like translucent. Well, this one seems more opaque now that I look at it. Seems very opaque. I want to do some glow-in-the-dark ones because I had some glow-in-the-dark glitter that Azalea was just talking about. And I used a little bit on the edge or on the back side of one of these pins. And I was kind of like, man, I wish I did the whole thing because that would have been cool. But I didn't. So that's going to be on one of the things. When you put it in the light, you can really see the glow, and it looks really good. So this one does not have the pigment or the holographic powders. It's kind of have like a candy taffy look, like that pulled taffy. Yeah, maybe I want to do, there's a little bit of this white. Oh no, this was a pretty one. Oh, hello, Julie. Pat, I don't know. I don't think they asked me for a tax ID. Not that I remember. If it's for the trade only, I don't know if it is. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kind of swirl this around and let gravity do its thing. And it makes really cool patterns. Yeah, I would love to have just a great big thing of the white opaque resin in a big container. That's going to be on my things to do to hunt. Yeah, that will be an interesting. We'll see how that looks. Because the colors will shift behind this. And I think I will do, let's see. I wonder what this would look like. It's kind of a weird color. Hopefully it's not horrendous. Oh, it's like gold. What do you know? I didn't know that was going to be like that. I didn't experiment with that one. Maybe I'll do that white with this. It's like, will that look completely horrendous? Let's see. Kind of interesting. It's given me those vibes of those old Italian glass beads. I'm mixing and matching. Sometimes you can't do that with different brands of resin, but I am not afraid to make a mess, so I've experimented with it. We'll swirl it around. Make some nice little patterns in there. Trying to get rid of some of those air bubbles. I can see them from here. Got you. Oops. Sometimes it's easy to go a little overboard. All right, while I'm swirling, I'm gonna hit this with, see what happens.
I'm excited.
I know, you can see where the glow in the dark was. See that ring around where I was doing glow in the dark glitter?
Oh.
It's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, I don't think they had, so Carla says no. Oh, Kathy, I'm so happy. She says she loves her necklace. Hello, Kim. Robin, who doesn't want to go to Tucson, you guys? Wouldn't it be fun if we had like a field trip to go to Tucson?
You're going to get everybody super excited.
I know. Wouldn't that be wonderful? What would even be the best is if we somehow had a bus and we ran around the country picking everybody up. That's a fantasy, of course, because the gas alone, on just thinking about the gas, makes me shudder. But
you'd have to get funded.
I know, that would have to be that's what dream time. That's like when somebody has like, like they have some like billions of dollars, but secretly, you know how it goes. There's some folks out there like that. They're rolling in like Walmart stuff, but secretly they're like millionaires. Get funded, go on the road, picking everybody up, make a field trip out of it. It'd be like we could make a documentary out of it. On the road with beaters. Kind of fun. So I'm going to just finish this off with some clear. If I have white, I would have picked white, a big thing. This is just a little bit cheaper than using, I don't want to use all my more expensive like this. That's like, I don't know. They're like $1 a bottle. Now, in theory, I could have done a little more elaborate in there. I could have done once you put one layer of the opaque, though, it's kind of like you don't see much of the other colors, although it can affect it. So leaving this clear will give me an opportunity to do a mirrored finish if I want to. That's kind of like this. And it looks cool on this side, too. I just set that in some resin. That was silly of me. Let's see, I need to move these guys over so I'm not making a mess out of them. Because apparently there's resin on this board, and I was all like cavalier setting the stuff down. Don't be cavalier with your stuff. Don't be like me, randomly setting it down in drips of resin, because then you'll have to clean it later. And it's hard to clean off of things.
Which one are you gonna make next?
I don't know. I am excited to demold this.
Did you do the crystal one?
I did. I did do the crystal one.
That's exactly what the people want to see.
Who doesn't?
Nubbin's next.
It's a little bit thick of a layer. It's a thick layer. We'd have to do it a couple times. A Tucson retreat. Who wouldn't want to do a Tucson retreat? Hello, Kitty. Party bead bus. It is so fun. This kitty is not. You know what it kind of smells like? It has a kind of, it reminds me of pine tree resin. That's what it smells like to me. Oh, I didn't even see that one.
It doesn't smell like much of anything.
No, it doesn't, but it does have a slight odor. I will say that.
Maybe up close, but it's not strong.
It isn't strong. You have a clean paper towel that I can wipe this on?
I can get you one.
Thank you, because it has resin on it. I don't want it to melt in place. I know, I'm so eager to demold. So eager. So this got a little bit of clear resin on it. It's because you can't see it on this, and I keep using it, and I don't clean it off. In theory, you could go over the whole thing with a UV flashlight, and then it'll dry it up, and then you won't stick your arm into uncured resin and then get it on your cashmere sweater. Because that's no fun. But I polished it, and it got it all off, so. These paper towels are my all-time favorite, I tell you. What good paper towels. They're practically like fabric. Oh, you guys want to see what I got at the show? My friend Francis made this. Isn't this cool? It's a hairpin. And I feel pretty fancy when I wear it. So that was really nice. Okay, let's see if this is ready. This might not be ready. But I can tell if I push on it. Whew, it's hot.
Did it bust?
No, it didn't bust. Did not bust. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to pop it anyway. I'll just do it very gently. And so you can start by gently easing the corners. So with some of this UV resin, the tops might need to be cured more. So the trick with that is not to be too hasty and pop it out and then get your fingers all over it. The way to do it is to loosen up the edges. It's kind of like with a cake or a muffin. This is a really easy mold to tear. Look, there's already a tear. And then once you have it loosened up, use the mold itself to push from below and not touching it. I'm not touching it. I got that. That came out good. That's probably my favorite one. I'm going to set that one down. I'm not going to touch the top. I'm going to let it go again under that lamp just to make sure that it's set. Oh, that one came out pretty. Galactic. I love it. Okay, I'm going to let that cook for a second to make sure. Sometimes I'll put them outside. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was one of my big prize. I always get these burn bundles from my friend Mary Ellen. If Azalea felt like digging around for them in the tote bag, she gave me a tote bag to go with it today. I will show you my burn bundles, although sometimes I don't want to burn them. I want to keep them.
Oh, I don't burn mine. I hang them up in my room.
I burn them. Because she goes through all the effort, and then if you don't burn them, you won't ever need more. So I burned the heck out of them. All right. That was fun. Let's do another one. Let's do one more. Let's just do one more. What do you guys think? Just one more.
Just one more.
Just one more. Just one more. We'll do... Let's see. That bubbly one's my favorite. What's a burn bundle? Clam. I'll show you. When you get a chance, daughter, you need to go down.
What? I don't know where that is.
It's in a white tote bag. So she makes and grows these beautiful, like, I think this is, you know what, I don't know what this is. I think this is sweetgrass and mullein leaves and lavender. And so you're supposed to, they use them for space, they call it like space clearing. And it's a pretty ancient tradition to kind of, I mean, Native American people will call it like smudging or smoke cleansing, but there's a tradition of burning, yeah, like a smudging thing, but it's like incense. I mean, incense is one of those things that's ancient, and throughout all cultures, you'll find that folks burn. I mean, you know, in ancient China, they had different varieties of incense. In India, there's a big tradition. I really like ones that I've gotten from Japan. They have really nice incense. And so there's also Palo Santo. Some of them it just feels really kind of, I don't know. I don't know why I like to burn plants, but I do. I don't know why. It just smells nice for one thing. So that was with the opaque and no sparklies. And that's the back. So I could go over the back. What I usually do is I go around the back to finish it with an X-Acto knife to clean it up. And then I have a decision to make if I want to coat the back with an opaque color, or I could leave it clear. And then you use more resin to put a pin, and then then you can use the UV as a glue. And it's not coming off. It's very permanent, very permanent. Or you can use E6000. So anyway, those came out good. That's with the metallic gold. I didn't know that was the color. Actually, it's funny because I looked at this. I thought this was going to be like a mustard color. It didn't come out mustard, like at all. Oh yeah, the Palo Santo. Yeah, it is kind of a sunset color. So I want to make another bubbly one, because those are really fun. Let's do blue. We'll do one more. Maybe we'll do the frog too. Let's just do that one.
She's in the mood for it.
You know, I've been waiting all day. I've been thinking about it because I was selling those resin pens all day long, and then thinking about all the potential. You know, there's so much potential of the things you can make. It's so fun. They kind of look like clouds. And they kind of remind me, there's this artist that I follow on Instagram, and she makes these weird, like, I don't know, they're made out of different kinds of resin and silicones and things, but they're really drippy. And she does wacky colors, and they just look like a lot of fun to make.
Oh yeah, that super famous person?
I think she's super famous now. When I was first following her, she was not famous. She just had like a normal amount of followers. And I think one of her reels that she made went viral. And that, I think it just changed her whole world. You know, and I think, man, that could happen to anybody. You never know. Okay, so I'm really digging that one in there. I'm going to do that one with this one because I haven't tried that yet. I mean, while I'm at it, I mean, we're here. Might as well see what happens. You know, while I have this open. Might as well, right? Let me see. Ooh, I might try that black with it. Let's see what happens with this purple. Love it. I didn't make a purple one earlier. I'm going to carve like 5 more designs. Big Crafty's coming up in like a couple of weeks, maybe not even a couple of weeks.
December
And
1st and 2nd.
first and second.
Or
If
maybe
you're
it's the
local,
2nd and 3rd. I can't remember.
no, it's second and third. You're right. I remember it. I'm gonna swish this around. I didn't do that snail. Oh well. I definitely like coding these. Pretty fun. Maybe on that one I'll do a little bit of a pink to go with it. Oops, sometimes you'll go too far and then it goes out of the mold. Where's that pink? Pink purple, they call it. Ooh, I love it. Yeah, not too thick. Okay, I'm gonna swirl it around a little more. Yeah, I keep seeing those flecks. The flecks of old resin. The thing with this mold is it really wants to grab all of like, it's like the lint catcher. It's like everything is attracted to it. Like the whole outside of this mold, like it's all the glitter stays. The fun part about it is that you don't know what it's going to look like until after, because you're working in reverse, which is kind of cool. Let's see how that settles. Yeah, it is a really pretty color. What were we talking about? Water limits the oxygen and exposure and magnifies the UV light rays. Huh. I can believe it. Especially when you think of a tank. And, you know, when I had goldfish, the light, you had to factor in how deep your tank was, because some of the plants, if they were high light plants, and you have a 55-gallon tall tank, you know, that's like 2 feet. And the light at the bottom was not the same as the light at the middle or the top. It definitely distorted it and it was a lot more diffused. I'm going to do this white. Maybe I'll do some of that white next. We'll see. Maybe white resin, we'll see how that, the white transparent. Put a little bit of this on that. Yeah, that's more of a milky, cloudy color. I kind of love it. I like this. It's like opal. Definitely like an opal. You know, it kind of reminds me, this kind of look is a little bit like melted ice cream.
I love that story.
I went to Aldi's the other day and I found this gelato flight of pumpkin pie flavor, peppermint flavor, and eggnog flavor. And I like it because it didn't have food coloring. You know, I have this pretty severe food color allergy. That sucks, but what can you do? Yeah, the white is translucent. It kind of reminds me of like icing or something. Yeah, and those flavors, I had the peppermint just like 5 minutes before we went live, and it's a pretty pink. They had chocolate shavings, but for the most part, it's peppermint ice cream without the chunks, which I have long dreamed of. So I've only had it a couple times where you could get just mint ice cream. There's a place that we go in the summertime that they make. I don't know if they're in Mars Hill or Marshall. There's a place that I think it's called, I don't remember the name of it. Where's that one place that made the ice cream cones? The big fancy ice cream cones. You remember that?
That small business?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember where they're from, but I remember them.
Yeah, they're super nice people. Super nice. And I was like, how are y'all so skinny? and eating all that ice cream because they're like, they'll eat like a thing in the evening. I'm like, how can you be skinny and you do that? And they're like, oh, well, we run marathons. And I was like, all makes sense. All makes sense. So that was that cloudy look. Isn't that pretty with the cloudy? Let's do some more let's go more opaque. Just to see. And I think the opaque looks good when you have a contrasting color. And not really too much of a contrast. This is like a soft pink. We'll see what that looks like. It might be pretty. Who knows? We'll see. That's all right. It'll be diffused through purple and blue, so you won't get like a thick color. I don't know if I like that. But you know what? It can all be different. I might not know what it'll look like once it comes out. Might look completely different. Maybe I'll mix it with another one. Like this weird blue. These are really muted, these colors. They're not as saturated as you would think. Like, look at this. It's kind of, from that, it doesn't really look, to me, that doesn't look like the color on the outside. But, what are you going to do? Nothing, I guess. Just use it. Or mix your own. If I don't like it, I could always mix my own opaque colors. That's the other thing. Just do it yourself. You can use a stick. The only thing, if you use a stick, it can get where you scratch your other side, or the side that's facing. If you have like a pigment powder in there, it can make a design that you did not want. So I'm kind of gentle with that. This is going to be cute. I can feel it. I have a feeling it's going to look good. That frog's like a chocolate. I told a lot of people about the group today, and hopefully we get new people watching. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
That would be cool. You know what? After you're done with that one, we should show off your necklaces, because
Oh.
people might not have seen them.
Okay. That sounds fun.
They're very pretty.
Yeah, I sold a few, and that was pretty satisfying. Okay, I'm going to tilt that. Ooh. And I think I could even get a little bit more. I'm going to try and diffuse it even more with some clears just to see what will happen. Just because. Whoops. Fumbled that. And I'll swirl it around and make kind of a pretty little pattern in there. Kind of like fog or something. Or shampoo. Like when the shampoo used to have that marbled look. Way back in the day. I haven't seen shampoo look like that in a while. Must be all the paraben free and all that goodness. All right, let's freeze frame. Oh, I like that. Remember liquid pearl forever ago? Oh, thank you, Julie. Oh, I want to see. I want to see your multi-layer, multicolor beads. I love them. Oh, creme rinse. Thank you, Carla. There we go. My mom used to call it the creme rinse. So cute. Hello, Deanna. Spirit of adventure. Yes, I'm not afraid to make a mess. Oh, yeah, I want to see. I'm so eager, Beaver, to get this one flipped open and see. I think it'll be interesting and gummy. It's fun to do them. I was going to say maybe we can do a tutorial on the mold making, but that's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of dry and it takes a while. Maybe we can break it up into steps. So look what happened. It made So that's the two resin blending together. It made a neat pattern in there. It's probably not... No, it's done. I thought maybe it wouldn't set up. I'm going to top it off with more clear. I could top it off and put flecks of glitter or something in there. That would be kind of fun. But if it's slightly translucent, you can kind of see it through the back. And we'll see if it goes all the way. This is a pretty thick layer, so I'll have to go over that a couple times. We've reached the end of Midsummer Murders again.
The new season 2024, will be out on Acorn, I believe, on December 2nd.
Ugh, I can't come soon enough.
I know.
We go through that show. It's like a comfort show. I know, it's so weird, but that show is, I guess the formula appeals to us, and it's kind of gentle, you know. No, it's not too intense. Like Vera, that can be really intense.
But I like it anyway.
Who was Will Trent? Will Trent. Is that on Midsummer? Was that on...
Maybe an actor's name, but I'm not really familiar with the actor's names.
Let me see what you're making. Is that a doll hat?
No.
You making a hacky sack?
No, I was gonna make a sack of some sort with beans in it and then put catnip in it.
Oh.
So I can watch them slap it around on the floor.
A dyslexic detective on TV. Oh, Clem. ABC. I didn't see that show. Maybe we'll have to look into it. Everybody's giving it a thumbs up. Jermaine says that she loves it and it's on ABC. Oh, I know. We rationed the heck out of it. Maybe we'll restart Poirot.
Poirot's not done yet. We haven't refinished that yet. We haven't gone through our second phase.
We did Miss Marple a few times. That one we did get to the end of. More than once.
Not as many times as Midsummer, though.
We tried to rewatch Inspector Morris, but... Or not Inspector Morris. Who's the other one that we liked?
Lewis. But it wasn't on there anymore.
Now listen, Inspector Morris was not my favorite.
Inspector
that was
Morris
like...
was gross.
He was kind of boring.
Old, boring, crusty, kind of weird.
Kalite, I want to be good at the whodunit, but I never really get it, so... Poirot with David Suchet is my favorite. He was my favorite. Now, I thought Azalea was like, he's the only Poirot.
The
but
new
then
Poirot movies are okay, but
you don't love the new guy?
Is the best one. The new guy?
The new guy, what's his name? He's a famous actor. What's his name?
Yeah,
I can't think his name right now. He's married to Emma Thompson.
I watched the newest one with Aiden in the theater, the one with that was like a haunting in Venice. And I liked it.
He and his little gray cells. Yes, I loved it. All right, time to demold. Boy, these are hot. I don't know how people stand to put their fingernails under that. It's like a little easy bake oven. Oh, Lupin. You know, I've seen the trailers for that, and they keep showing it to me. It's on my list, but we haven't. And I think is it in French?
I'm pretty sure.
That one came out good. Kind of not as I'm kind of a little bit not impressed with that one. That's kind of okay. Let's see. Hopefully, I have high hopes for this one. I want to tear the mold. Got to pop that out very gently, gingerly. Oh, it's English. Oh, that one came out juicy. This mold is just fun. It's my favorite one. I made another one that has, it's the texture. You can get a lot of interesting little looks with that one. Oh, yeah, that came out pretty good. Oh, there it is. Kenneth Branagh. Tom, you knew it. It was right on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, he was pretty good, but David Suchet is my favorite. These are not very fragile at all. These are pretty, they're pretty sturdy. I've dropped them and nothing happens to them. Yeah, yeah, I heard that they were divorced. I read a sad thing from Emma Thompson. I think she was going through that when she was on that movie Love Actually. I think she was going through that. It was pretty sad that she had like real life experience with that same thing that she was acting out. Kind of sad. But I love that movie too. Oh, so that there was a tear in my mold and you can see it right there, that little extra little, I don't know, little tear. So that was not good. But you can see all the blue pools, and that looks pretty good. But I don't know. We'll see. I might coat that one. It's kind of flawed. But, you know, you never know. You never know how these are going to look till you pop them out. So that was my yield from that batch. And I'm going to let them cook one more time. Maybe another time. Sometimes I'll put the whole tray outside. Oh, Mary, it is so fun. They are addictive to make. And, you know, it can be one of those things where you just make a bunch of little tchotchkes and you don't know what to do with them. It's better if you have a project in mind. I've made earrings and I have resin. I have projects for the stuff. So for me, adding to it, I have a way to sell it afterwards. And I just take them and put them on the table. But if you don't, then it can kind of pile up with all the things. Although they do have those bead molds and it can be pretty fun. But it's not, I wouldn't say it's like, it's not super cheap because you don't get a ton out of it. But you get a lot out of one of these containers. You get quite a bit in this. And this isn't terribly, it's not super expensive. All right, I'm going to start putting this stuff away. You know what? I didn't even use the other colors. I just used, like, I opened up 6 of them. I was like, oh, that's so fun. I haven't even gotten to the end of all those little bottles because the inside paper is so hard to get out. I had to go in with a knife and try and fight for my life to get the little inside papers. Boy, that was something. And it was not a good something. All around I think it's good. They're fine, but they're not my favorite. They're okay. I would try to find my own solution if I could. Maybe like mix up my own colors. If that, you know, those dyes, they're not as saturated. And that's why I thought I was getting dye when I bought these, but I didn't even know that they came in another like configuration. So anyway, I'm going to move all this out of the way so I don't get any more resin on things. I need to get in the habit of hitting this whole work surface with the light right after, so if there's anything on it, it's not like a little pool of, like over here, all those little pools of clear resin just sitting there waiting for me to stick my hand in it. I'm going to do that. Just see if that happens. I tried to pull, the other night, I was making such a mess. I tried to put, like, the pins. It's pretty challenging to do the resin and pin. It's much easier to do E6000 or another kind of glue because the resin wants to get away from you. And it's really liquid. So that part is kind of a challenge. But you can, instead of sanding them, because sometimes you have to, like, I'll sand the backs of this, because if I over pour, sometimes it's like, where did I put it? I had another one of those things I was going to show you. Well, I don't see it. Somewhere on this table. There's so much stuff on this table. Oh, look at this, just to get into my way. These little things, the tops, boy, they're really hard to remove, and boy, they stuck to everything. I had one on my elbow the other day. Horrendous. Oh, that's a cute idea, Carla. Why don't I make resin buttons for my bracelets? I make polymer ones. You know what? Polymer is good, but these are really durable. Really durable. Especially this type of resin, the white. If you can cast some buttons, I'll do a tutorial and show you guys how to make some molds if you're at all interested. They're pretty easy to make. Oh, here's one of the things. So if you over pour, look how badly I over poured this. Ugh, man. So what I do when I have this is I bought a belt sander and I just put this on the belt sander and that thing goes really fast and you just have to touch it to it for like a second and it sands off the whole back. It's awesome. But it does make a big cloud of dust particles, so I have to use a mask when I do it because you don't want to breathe that stuff in. Sometimes you can make the resin look like that. I mean, if you get it, you can get, this looks like, I think that kind of looks like Dichro to me, but that's just resin. And it looks, I think that looks pretty good. All right, little daughter, let's show it. Pass some necklaces over here.
This was gonna be like a ball, but I ended up making it garlic instead.
Let me see it. Let's show it. Get over here and show it. Look at this little giblet Azalea's making.
It's a garlic for the cats.
What yarn are you using?
It's like rainbow yarn I found downstairs.
Let me see. That's that. You know, I got made fun of for that yarn.
I just found it downstairs.
I bought it and like I was thinking about making. I don't know what I'm gonna make with that. I just bought it. I tend to buy rainbow yarn for some reason. It's compulsion at this point. Here you go, little daughter. Okay, let's get over here and do this. I'm gonna show you guys my necklaces.
Which one do you want to start with?
Any one of them.
This one? No,
Okay.
it doesn't have a tag. That's the only one that doesn't.
Oh, look at this one. This one. This one. This one came out beautiful. So this, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I set some sapphires in these, and I made some clasps. Clasps. I always hate to say that, clasp. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, this one. Not yet. She's going to fill that thing with catnip, Colite. It's going to have catnip eventually. So you cannot really see the glorious beads I put on here without, see, get some of that light aimed at it. They come out good. I had a lot of people look this way. And I sold a few, which was nice. You never know, because sometimes the more pricey things, people have to think about it, you know? All right, so that's that one. And this one, if you're interested, is $240. I know, it seems a little bit pricey, but that is solid silver with a sapphire set in that. Came out perfectly. And look at all that cheddar. Nice long necklace. And that one is B2 if you guys are interested. Okay, I'm going to show you another one. I'm just going to keep it moving. Now, if you're watching the replay and you see one of these that you like, then you can just send us a message and I will get back to you. You can send it to the Facebook, although I don't check the Facebook messages as hard. Oh, and that's so funny and true. Someone told me today the dogs have owners and cats have staff. Isn't that the truth? So I made several more of this necklace. I sold one. I had one, and I had the beads to make more, so I made like 5 more, and they all sold. So I made these, or I made this one. I think I have another one as a ruby. I followed the same pattern. I had a lot of those stones, and it came out really good. They're really high. I know, Julie, isn't 100% fact. This one has that lodolite, big old lodolite, Peterson, or not, I was about to say Petersite, and then I started looking at Julie's name, Peterson. Some little rough ruby, amber,
That's
serpentine. Yeah, this one came out good.
I want some of your necklaces.
Yeah, we'll see. You can go and look. I'm going to take these. They're destined to go to the. I was thinking about putting them on the website because I've had a few people ask me to put them there so that they can compare them. You know, because I get that. You want to look at each stone and each strand and see. This one, if you're interested, is 180, and that's B1. And that's for the turkey tail rainbow treasure necklace. Oh, I want to show this one. I love this one. Thank you, Pat. Oh, Azalea can check on it. You know, if you got an older order, if you have one within the last like 3 weeks, she was filling orders all day long today. So she can definitely check on the order for you, Shuri. Did you hear that, Azalea?
Mm.
Okay, look at this one. This one, I had these pendants I got from this guy that was from Afghanistan, where a lot of these type of pendants are made. And it's a turquoise with coral. And then these antique beads, they're trade beads. From, I think those are made in Amsterdam a long time ago in the 1880s. Yeah, that piece has a, it does have it does have that kind of vibe for sure. And I used, like, this is an antique trading bead. I love that color. I found that and I have one strand and boy, I just loved it. And then that's another African bead. And so this one I was going for, I don't know if you guys remember, but I did, last week I had this palette on my work table. And so this is the outcome. This is how I managed to put it together. So it still has that kind of ombre effect, but, and then I did this. I love this clasp. This one doesn't have it's silver, but it doesn't have a sapphire set in it. Oh, Pat, the Azalea should be finishing up with those orders like this week because we did take an order for casting. And there was a reason that I don't usually do that because it really sets us on, we get really behind and then we always agree to do it for some reason. We're like, okay. And then we forget that people don't like to wait for it. It's better to just make the stuff. So that one actually has a pretty good flow from color to color with just a hint of the red opposing it on this side. And so you can wear it like this and it has a nice shape. So anyway, I'm going to put these on the website, I think. Or, I don't know. I'll just have to see. I had a few people take pictures and then tell me that they were thinking about it. Because, you know, it's hard to get yourself a present. I know I heard a lot of people were shopping from... Yeah, the GBE orders are going out. We had a casting list that went with that. So those should be clearing up this week or yesterday, Azalea. I mean, they can't ship today, but she packaged them all the orders up for that. And you have probably a handful left. Yeah, we'll look into them, you guys. Nobody's going to get left behind. We'll get in there and get it. It's just, you know, when I went out of town, I basically took 2 weeks off. I mean, I still worked, but it was really hard to keep up with everything that was happening here. So we are getting caught up and making everything. So I didn't even make much new things. This was all the new, like I was going to make these. Basically, we were just like packing the car for the show. I didn't make much new. We were focusing on trying to make everything that we'd already taken orders on. This one came out pretty good. I like the palette that I chose for this one. It's a soft green, this dolomite, I love it. And then that Mariposite, this is a pretty agate. Love it. And that chalcedony, a really pretty color. This is a type of sunstone. It's called iolite in sunstone. Came out good. And this one, look at this, how I used a different color of thread. So this is a thread that's variegated, and you can see it through the clear beads. See there? You can kind of see it through there. Pearls, hand-carved quartz. Love those. This is that sunstone and iolite, that rose water quartz that has, they call it phantom because it has black tourmaline bits in there. This is auralite or super 23. That's when the stone has 23 different compounds in it. This one's a pretty long one. I would say, let me see. Let's see, this is probably the longest one. Look at that. Well, I think it has about, say, if that's maybe 22 inches. You know, I might have hand dyed this one, Kathy, the variegated thread. I like to dye my cord, and it's kind of fun to do, and you can do it in the microwave. I'll show that sometime. Okay, so this one, if you're interested, is $180, and that is B9. Oh, thanks, Anne. How long is B2? Azalea, can you get that one and we'll measure it out? B2. I think that's this. Is that the second one I showed?
It's B11. But they might be thinking, is this a show them this? Because they might be thinking of it in calories.
Oh, this one, I don't know if this is the one. This is...
Oh, here's the actual B2.
Oh, okay. That's one of my favorite ones. Yeah, this is a nice long one. Yeah, you can really see the color shift there. And this one is actually, I don't think that one was not the longest one. This one's the longest one. So if it's 13, it's 26 inches right there. So that's 26. Nancy, I see your comments. All right. Did I show you B? Oh, so this one is B2. The one with the moon. The moon. I should take a picture of this one because I love it so much. It came out so good. And I priced that pretty good, $240. I don't think that's crazy. I mean, I bought shirts that were that, and boots that were that much, and I didn't even have them for as long. This will last forever unless you catch it on fire or something. And even then, I think the beads would be good. All right, let me see another one, Azalea. See.
Do you want to show off this awesome one?
Robin, are you saying B9? Did you want to look at that? Are you claiming that one? Let me see. Let me show. Where's that one? I'm gonna have to remove my sweater. And these lights are like show. It's like a bead show in here. Let me see. Robin, are you interested in this one? I think this is B9. Yes, this is B9. Came out with a very subtle palette pearls. Yes, it's available. Write that one down, little daughter. Thank you, Robin. Yay, one of my necklaces found a home. I'm going to show. This one's supposed to be showstopper. Okay, so you remember when... Oh, thank you, Mary. B2. This one is B7. This one has my one-of-a-kind. It has that dragonfly with a rutilated quartz set in. You could wear either direction. You know, they're supposed to be set like this, but this is actually my favorite side. And then this has the iolite and sunstone matrix type of stone with silver. Those are fine silver, and pink quartz, clear quartz. Oh, that's actually rose quartz. This is that phantom rose quartz, lodolite quartz, very nice. Orbicular jasper tourmaline. They call it cherry tree tourmaline because it has these little spots. This is actual strawberry quartz, not the dyed stuff. But they made some dyed things, so it gave people PTSD when they thought, because it was actually glass, it wasn't stone. This is actually the real deal. You can see the clear sparkle on that. This one is, I think that's, I don't know if that's lepidolite. I have to look that one up. This one's fuchsite, or no, ruby and zoisite. So it's ruby in a zoisite matrix. Those little pieces there, that's ruby. Chalcedony, pink phantom, that is black moonstone. Sugar agates. And then what is that? Oh, that's more of that iolite. I love that iolite in sunstone. It's so juicy. And sterling and fine silver. This one, yeah, it came out good.
That's the showstopper.
That's my showstopper. This one's
That's a big
$3.20.
one.
I know it's pricey, but I have a one of a kind on there. See that? That is $3.20. It's B7. Thank you, Stamile. This one sits pretty, so it's about 22 inches. That's the drop on that. The clasp is pretty stable. It's my favorite one because, boy, that tag is getting on my last nerve. I had a lot of people looking at it today. A lot of people. And I had people asking me if I had it on the website because some wives were walking around eyeballing it. And the husbands were like, hey, is it on a website so I can, you know, maybe get it later because my wife is with me. And I was like, I don't have it on there. But I might do it because I had a lot of people ask me. But that's that piece. Came out really good. Oh, put this one back in there. All right. I know, I'm so proud of that one. I was so happy. So this is my other showstopper, but it's not quite as long. And you guys probably remember when I made this pendant with the tourmaline. It has a really pretty cat eye shimmer on that tourmaline. I bought that stone probably 24 years ago from a guy selling cabochons at the Cultural Arts Center when I was taking jewelry making. And I set it on this side. It's not really double-sided. This side this is the side to wear it on. But I have a lot of really juicy stones on that. That's that Auralite 23, I guess they call it. I was so pleased with the amethyst. I think that's garnet, or maybe it's, yeah, that's a garnet. And more of that snakeskin agate, I love it. Rose, phantom quartz, pink opal, amber, sunstone, and tiger eye. And this one has a really pretty solid silver clasp. Thank you. Yeah, I was particularly happy with the way this one came out. And this one sits at about 20 inches, I think. I would say that. About 18. No. That's closer to 20 inches. A 20-inch drop.
Yeah, that's a perfect necklace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I displayed that, and there was a lot of people looking. I was happy with it. Okay, I'll show off a few more. Maybe that one over there.
This one?
Uh-huh.
This is another one.
Oh, is that one? I don't want to show the old ones then. Show me one that I haven't shown yet. That has one of the stones.
GT5?
No, one of the ones with the stones in the clasp. Oh, did I show that one?
Yeah, I think you did show this one, but you can...
No, I don't want to show it again. Is that the same one?
Been shown it?
Oh, no, I didn't show that one. Thank you. How much was that last one, Azalea? I think that one...
This one?
Yeah. No, the other one with the butterfly. Or moth, I mean. Let me see what I have it marked at. I have it marked at B12 is $310. It is a lot for this, but that is a one-of-a-kind pendant right there. With a really good quality, perfect pink tourmaline. So that one's $310. Bonnie, everything will ship soon, I promise. You guys, everything will ship soon. This one was one of my favorite ones that I made over the weekend. And it has a sapphire and the moon. The reason I like it is because, well, one, it has a very subtle palette. My favorite of these like grayed out kind of monotone. And it sits like if you had it could sit any which way. Like this looks good. Or like this. And say your neck is right here. Let me see. We'll do it like this. You can see. There at the corner. Because your neck is like right here, depending on how long it is. Yeah, I can't wait to see what everybody makes. Yeah, it was kind of an odd time to go out of town. I hate going out of town at this time of year because because everybody, it's like there's it's a rush. But, you know, sometimes it can't be helped sometimes. So anyway, that's how that looks. And that one is, let's see, B4. And this one is 220. I know it seems pricey, but it does have a really unique clasp with a sapphire set in it, solid silver, and some really nice gems on here. This one features, this is actually rainbow obsidian, this black, more rainbow obsidian, and this is, I cannot think the name of it. It's like right on the hypersthene. That was one I searched high and low to find it because I just loved it. This is a type of a blue opal. That's from Africa. This is actually right there. That's more of that of that rainbow obsidian. It's getting really harder to find of that stone. This is the hypersthene too, but in a different shape, or a different size, I mean. You see how it kind of looks like a meteor pattern, little shine. Garnet, strawberry quartz, golden obsidian. Oh, this is actually a sapphire right here. That's a sapphire, and it has a little bit of a star. Auralite 23, and some of that rainbow not rainbow, it's that phantom rose quartz. That, how big and juicy. I know, look at that. Look at all that cheddar. I love this one. And that's B4 if you're watching. And that's 220. All right, let's see if there's one or two more in there, and then we'll wrap it up. Let me see. Maybe this one right here. I didn't show this one. This is one that I made that I really like. I just used the moon button for a more minimalist look. It's kind of a rainbow treasure necklace. And I did a little rainbow shift. You can see all the colors. Came out good. All right, I feel like my voice is starting to get raspy, so I'm going to wrap it up. Amber, all the good stones. That's a ruby right there. Tourmaline, that is that cherry tree tourmaline. And this one is kind of a shorter necklace. This one hugs the collar. I had a lot of people ask me for shorter ones. So this one is about 18 inches, and it sits higher on the neck. Probably like, I don't know, you could wear it with like a button up and still see it. It's not a choker. I wouldn't say that's a choker. But that one is B6, and it's 140 if you're interested. Came out pretty good. I'm really happy with the way that one looks. I layer this one up. I have another one that's very similar, and I wear it with two, sometimes three if I'm feeling sassy. Yeah, Kathy, I had a lot of people ask me, oh, the clear pink, is it on this one? The clear pink, this one? This is strawberry quartz. You can see it's actually strawberry quartz and not the faux glass stuff. So I believe there's a matrix in this with a little bit. It might be, if I'm not mistaken, the gem dealer was telling me that that had some like sunstone somehow. No, let's see. What are you talking about? Oh, this one. This one is the clear pink. This is rose quartz. Isn't that good? I think we had this in a kit, didn't we, daughter?
Yeah.
That was in one of our kits. That's pink opal and lepidolite. Or no, that's lepidolite. What else do I have on there? Amethyst, of course. See, that's the purple business here. Fuchsite. You know, I think at the end of the day, I feel like a little bit wore out when I do a show. And that's what's happening right now.
Tear down too.
And I tear down. Like, you guys wouldn't believe how many steps I had to go down tonight. I'm going to turn the camera around. Oh, yeah, that ruby. They're juicy. You know, and I struggle with pricing. And, you know, I looked around the show, and my prices today were some of the most reasonable out there, for sure. And I tend to price because also, in a camera, let me see. Sometimes that part is hard, is getting this camera. They changed it recently so that I got to shift through like a whole laundry list of functions. Oh, and this is the other one. You guys have seen this one before, but this is, take this one off. This is what I was wearing. And I set a sapphire in it. It looks so good. The carved clear, that's quartz if they're clear. And I think I got those. There's an antique dealer. Yeah, you know, I didn't mark those super high. I tend to want to price them how I would buy it. And sometimes that's not always the way. Sometimes that can be, you know, I looked around and I was like, my prices are actually really good, especially when you consider what it is. I mean, you'll be able to wear it for 20 years from now. And I have necklaces that I made in the same material, probably easily 16 years ago, and they look exactly the same. All right. So that's this necklace. And look, I set it, and isn't that sweet? It looks so good. Love that palette. They're kind of like rainbow necklaces. I love them. And they can be worn like, you know, my favorite part is that you can change the positioning. So you have options depending. Not all of my necklaces will do that, but lately I've been so into that with a lot of options in that way. Oh, thank you guys for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed the tutorial. It was a lot of fun. And thank you for being so patient thus far. We've been pretty behind with, you know, going out of town with that funeral. It just has that kind of domino effect. When you get, you know, it starts to avalanche when you have so many orders and then you're grinding through them. And then it takes, you know, and then we had a GBE event and it had a high quantity amount of things come in from them. And then we had a thing with Betsy and I took orders. I probably shouldn't have taken orders because that really, like all that stuff. And the main thing is that we try to get all the orders done in the order that we receive it. So that can be kind of, you know, it's hard to explain to folks. That's for sure one of the things. Helen, what number is the sapphire anchor necklace? Did I show that one? Oh, thank you, Jermaine. I didn't think they were high either, especially when you consider that they take several hours to make one. I mean, you know, you guys know how long it takes to make them. We've made them together. And the knotting part is not the part, the knotting is not the part that takes a while. It's the arranging is where you end up spending a lot of time positioning. And it's where I tend to take a lot of time.
Oh, this one. That's the one she wants to see.
Oh, this one didn't have a number. This one didn't.
Is that one a personal one?
No, it's not a personal one. I just made it. But can you look in there and see if there's one that's like equivalent? So, Helen, you can message me later and we'll talk about that. And you could just say how much is it and I can like look at some of the ones that have a similar look and I can get a price. Or, you know what? I think what I'll do is put a lot of these and photograph them with detail so you can go in and blow it up and look at the stones. A lot of people have told me they like to do that and really like take their time, because I know they're not, I mean, they're not cheap, but they're not, it's not something you're going to be like, oh, I'll just, most people cannot just drop, however much. So, arranging and design, oh, don't give up. You should never give up, Jermaine. It's fun. It's fun to make them. It does take time, though. The arranging is where the time is, isn't it? Where you can rearrange them 100 times. So, yeah, I don't know. I tried not to wear anything to get sweaty. I took everything off when I'm tearing down and putting and working on the show. I don't want to have anything like getting like, weird. I don't want it to be like a weird kind of like, I don't know. But it's funny. So thank you guys for joining me and watching my resin tutorial. That was pretty fun. I'm going to make more of them instead of unpacking the car, which is what I should do. The green face, do you want it without, oh, do you mean this little guy? I can do that. If you purchase one, Mary, I can write the note. I can write it down for sure. Yeah, I can do that. If you want a pin on the back, I can get that. Just send me a message and we'll work it out. Let's see, Mary, I can do that. If you want a bead around it, let me know what's the story with that. Or Marianne. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. And we love you out there and hope that you are creative, even in this kind of stressful and anxiety time with the holidays coming up. It should be a time of gratitude. So, yes, I can make a pin for you. No problem. Send me a message and I'll get that to you. So if you... Oh, yeah, he does look like he could be from Atlantis. Oh, that pin, I sell them for $32. But, yeah, just... It's all the things that happen during the holidays. It's... I think of it as a time for getting together with our families and hanging out together. Hit me up at Yahoo and we'll work it out. And then I'll get on that. Yes, if you see something, what I'll do is you can send it to me and then we can make an invoice and we'll get that sent to you. So thanks everyone for being so patient. We did get behind, and I want to say it was almost 3 weeks that took us, that we were pretty much crushed under a mountain of orders. And we didn't have a ton of help. We did have Will, our friend, come over, and he came over as often as he could to help us catch up. But right now, it's mostly just Greg. So that's part of the reason it takes a while. If you've ordered any pewter beads, he's in there making them. And we tried not to do anything that's like more like to make, like no more like to for a casting list. It was mostly let's just catch up with what we have. So we really appreciate everyone being so patient and understanding, because I get it. Sometimes it's a real, you want to make stuff, you want to just get it and do it. I get it. I want to do it too. So I am fully aware, and I've been trying to rush everybody. We were downstairs working all week trying to catch up with everything. So I think all of the retail orders from that whole section are getting packed up. Azalea almost got them done today. I think she's probably got another 30 packages to go. But yeah, we had a lot, which I am completely 100% grateful for, because that's how we're living, is through our orders. So thank you so much. We super appreciate all of the orders and all of you guys sharing and telling your friends about us. It really basically keeps us in business, because there's not that many shows. We have a lot of them that we do now, like probably 5. Now, can you believe I actually said we do a lot at 5 shows, when it used to be me and Sheila were out there doing 32. like we were every weekend we were churning it out. But that's when there were a ton of shows. Now there's like what, one every, you know, I can't even think of the next bead show. And a lot of them we don't even do anymore. So now it's markets, and it's all good. So thank you so much for showing up and watching us live. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate if you watch on our YouTube and any replays. It all helps boost the signal. So thanks for supporting Handmade, and we really appreciate it, and hope that you guys have a wonderful holiday season and that you get to be crafty and creative. We will see you next Sunday, and that's it. Bye everyone. See you soon.